Hi, I'm Arthur Petersen with Petersen Games. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the production side of things for Cthulhu Wars Onslaught 3, where we are and what it will take to get this project to your hands. This is a Kickstarter first for us because this is the first project we've done in which before the Kickstarter went live, we are what we call China ready. This means that all of the illustrations, art, sculpting, the text, the layout, the design, and the balance, everything is completely done and ready to go. And as soon as the project funds, we are going to give it to our factories and they will start the work. We've never had it this ready, in other words, completely ready, before a Kickstarter is launched, and so this should be the fastest turnaround we've ever had. Let me kind of show you where we are in the process and what the full timeline looks like. I am not a graphic illustrator. This is the best I could do. If you want to pause it or not, this is kind of where we are. And we've done all 1 through 6. We're in the middle of 7, and when it's done, this is all we have left to do, which is about 10 months worth of work for our Chinese factory and various parts. And so let me walk you through all of it. So tooling, which usually takes about 2 months, especially for a project of this scale, is the process by which we take the resin sculpts, or 3D sculpts or whatever they are, and we turn them into steel molds that are these giant heavy things with cavities in which plastic is, hot plastic of the appropriate color is squirted into the cavities, and it comes out, and it comes in pieces or one solid piece depending on the model, and then is assembled and glued together, again depending on the model and the complexity and the size. So tooling is the process of creating those molds, and then mass production and plastic mass production is using those molds, which takes about 3 months. And during those 3 months, there's about 40 days of printing. That's, if you have a game without plastics, you're lucky. It might take 40 to 50 days plus pre-press to do the printing. It's pretty fast. A game like Cthulhu Wars, the total process will be about 5 months. Again, 2 months for tooling, about 3 months for production. That's my estimate. It took us about 6 months, all said, for Onslaught 2, for example, but that's partially because it was an even larger project with many more total products offered. This I'm estimating 5 months. And after those 5 months, it'll be January, and the Chinese country pretty much shuts down during February. It's called Chinese New Year, and it's very hard to do anything, including ship products, anything you want to do. So we are going to have a hard break and about a 1-month pause. And as soon as that's done, we have assembly and shipping, the very last steps. Assembly takes a few weeks. For something of this scale, it's probably 1 month. That's when first you have to ship. The plastics and printing are at different factories. You might have printing in Shanghai and the plastics in Dongguan City, 1,000 miles apart or something. And so you'll ship the plastics to the printing factory or vice versa, and dice is somewhere else usually. And they will put them into the boxes, into the trays, and shrink wrap them, put them on pallets. That'll take about a month. And then we freight them to the port. Shipping, which is this beast unto itself, is probably about 3 months. I say that because it could be a little fast for some people, but you could also have it longer. It really depends on a lot of factors, some of which we cannot control, such as customs. So the whole process is it ships from the factory to a port, to different ports depending on where you are, what region you live in. It'll be uploaded onto a container ship, travel across the ocean. Hopefully Relia won't rise and Cthulhu won't snatch our container ship. Hasn't happened yet, knock on wood. And, after that process is done, well, after it crosses the ocean, I should say, it unloads, it goes through customs, it gets freighted to a fulfillment warehouse. Your order gets packed from the pallets into a box. Your address is put on the box. It is put in the mail with a tracking number and sent to you. And that whole thing, 3 months-ish, it really depends on a lot of factors. Again, we will try to get it as fast and as efficient as possible from the factory to your house. And that whole process, that whole set of processes is 10 months, I would estimate, if you go down the list, based on who we are using for our factory and based on all of past history. That means June 2018, if you count that together, starting in September. If you want a longer explanation for all of these different timelines and including the stuff that happens before the Kickstarter and what it takes to make an entire project like Cthulhu Wars Onslaught 3, please click the link below. I have a longer explanation for you if you're interested in that. And thanks. I'm Arthur Petersen for Petersen Games.